said about this brand as of yet because every influencer got it.
Myself from Louis Vuitton will be just as good as the Jeffree Star.
Even though I was on the PR list and reviewed it, oh baby, I'm a fan of this brand. There was makeup brushes, there was other stuff that was not available. Yes, I bought it with my own money. Let's unbox it now.
We seriously need to talk about Jeffree Star because he was wild on live the other night. He started dragging names like Charles and NikkieTutorials, all while giving his take on Louis Vuitton's brand new makeup collection. What was supposed to be a simple product review spiraled into a full-on spectacle, and the beauty world is buzzing. Louis Vuitton finally jumped headfirst into the beauty game with their first global makeup launch just last month. And guess who they teamed up with? None other than legendary makeup artist Pat McGrath. This line came out swinging with 55 refillable lipsticks in satin and matte finishes, 10 tinted balms, and 8 eyeshadow quads that had fans gasping. But here's the catch. These prices are on another level. We're talking around $160 just for a lipstick, and palettes hitting $250. People couldn't stop debating online, calling the prices outrageous, while others claimed it was luxury worth paying for. Beauty gurus across social media were quick to give their 2 cents. Some unboxed PR packages, while others paid out of pocket to keep it real with their followers, and that's where the tension really started. Viewers argued that the people who actually bought the products came across way more authentic compared to those who got them for free. Charles, for example, made it clear he didn't receive PR and had to buy the line himself.
Said about this brand as of yet because every influencer shopping is a scam.
He didn't sugarcoat anything either. His first move was to slam the price tags, pointing out just how out of touch they felt. James did admit the packaging looked insane, like Louis Vuitton clearly poured money into the details. But in his eyes, that shiny wrapping didn't make up for the price tag.
Crazy. Final thoughts on Louis Vuitton makeup because I don't want to talk about this anymore. I know that most people cannot afford to shop this brand, so don't worry. If you can't, you're not missing out on literally anything. If you can afford to shop this brand,
he flat out said it wasn't worth it. Then came NikkieTutorials, who also bought the collection herself. She even hinted that maybe the reason she didn't get PR was because of her rocky history with Pat McGrath. Talk about shade.
Louis Vuitton just launched $250 eyeshadow palettes. And if that wasn't enough, $160 lipsticks. And if you're like, girl, yeah, we saw the PR packages, where's yours? Well, when I saw that Pat McGrath is the creative director, I now solely understand why my PR package was imaginary. This has got to be the most boring, lackluster eye I've done in months. $250 for this? For this? You know what? I'm skipping lipstick. I'm saving that for another time. I can't do this anymore. Oh.
But here's the kicker. Nikkie wasn't impressed either. Just like James, she tested the products and walked away feeling like the hype didn't match the quality. Viewers trusted their reviews because these weren't free gifts. They were bought straight from the store, and people could see for themselves during the live tests. Some of the eyeshadow shades barely showed up, and the lipsticks, they transferred instantly. Then enters Jeffree Star. When he sat down to film his review, everyone noticed he had the full PR package in front of him, and suddenly he's raving about how much he loved the products. That's when the internet went wild, accusing him of being fake and calling him out for siding with the brand just because he didn't have to spend a dime.
I'm sure you've seen the Louis Vuitton makeup line. It's been revealed. There's reviews everywhere. I think we saved the best review for last. This truly feels like Christmas. I've been waiting for Louis Vuitton to make makeup for so long. Probably the heaviest PR box I've ever felt in my life. Here she is in all her glory. Oh my God. Application super easy. It went on like a dream now. Oh, it's giving this aura of luxury and raspberry and a little hint of mint. A little bit came off, but it looks flawless. I lined my lips with the Jeffree Star Red Rum Velour Lip Liner. Now let's go in with the matte formula in shade Rouge Louis. Very comfortable. Didn't get on my teeth. It's so beautiful. Pay off immediately. A lot. I'm gonna go in with this beautiful bronze tone right here and pop it right there. The shadow is more of a bronzy satin metallic, and it is really pretty. Blending into the other color.
Now here's where things get tricky. Jeffree has always branded himself as brutally honest when it comes to reviews. He's said it a million times. He's already rich, So he doesn't need shady brand deals just to keep the money rolling. And for years, that's why people trusted him. He wasn't scared to tear a product apart if it deserved it. But let's not forget, Jeffree doesn't always stick to his own rules. There was that infamous moment when he announced he'd be reviewing Hailey Bieber's skincare brand, Rhode. Everyone was waiting for the tea. And what did he do? He bought the products, filmed himself holding them, and then tossed them straight into the trash without even testing them. He didn't try a single thing before calling the whole brand horrible. At that exact time, Selena Gomez was the internet's golden girl, with millions of people taking her side in everything. So when Jeffree trashed Hailey's line without giving it a fair shot, the timing made it look like he was just siding with the public opinion rather than being honest. Fans were torn. Some were cheering him on, while others were like, wait, this doesn't feel genuine at all. Even with stunts like that, a lot of people have still trusted Jeffree, because historically, he hasn't been the type to gas up a product just because it was free PR or tied to a brand deal. He always made himself out to be fearless about calling something overpriced or straight up trash. But this Louis Vuitton situation has people seriously questioning if that image is starting to crack. But this time around, fans weren't buying it. People were straight up calling Jeffree out, saying, "This is not worth the money and you're lying to our faces." The accusations spread fast, with many claiming his glowing review felt suspicious. At the same time, others pointed out something important. Jeffree has always been obsessed with Louis Vuitton. From tracksuits to luggage to custom trunks, he's flaunted his love for the brand for years. So when he praised their makeup line like it was the second coming, some people weren't shocked at all. They figured his bias for the label was showing. Still, Jeffree insisted his review was 100% truthful. To prove it, he even doubled down by purchasing more items from the line with his own money and reviewing them again on TikTok.
Do you think that the makeup I bought myself from Louis Vuitton will be just as good as the free stuff?
Even though I was on the PR list and reviewed it, oh baby, I'm a fan of this brand. There was makeup brushes, there was other stuff that was not available. Yes, I bought it with my own money. Let's unbox it now!
For some reason, a lot of people were upset that I was so excited about Louis Vuitton's launch. Baby, remember when I told you I was a super fan? Hi, I am. I wasn't disappointed, the shit was bomb, but there was a whole collection and I only got a couple things in the PR. So yes, I bought this all with my own money. Duh. Can't breathe, you guys. Yes, Louis Vuitton has a whole line.
But as those reviews started spreading and going viral, the backlash only grew louder. Critics accused him of protecting the brand rather than being honest about the actual quality. And Jeffree, he wasn't about to stay silent. He clapped back by stitching NikkieTutorials TikTok, standing firm on his stance about the eyeshadow palette, and making it clear he wasn't backing down, no matter what James or Nikkie had said. That's when things spiraled out of control. Jeffree suddenly switched gears and went straight for James, bringing up those old allegations about inappropriate texting. The whole conversation flipped from being about makeup shades to something way more serious in seconds. It was clear Jeffree wasn't holding back. He was furious that people were questioning his review, and he was ready to drag anyone who came at him. At the same time, he doubled down on defending the eyeshadow palette. Critics were saying the pigment wasn't there, but Jeffree insisted otherwise. He claimed the reason his video looked different was because he didn't preload his brush, basically saying it was user error, not the product. According to him, the palette absolutely delivered on pigment, no matter what James or Nikkie had to say.
For $250,
Oh.
not even pigment was included. I tried another palette from the launch for my tube channel, and that, although boring, at least had
Oh, hello. Okay, so I filmed part 1 actually days ago, never predicting all of this drama. Now it's Monday morning. I woke up all peaceful, had a really great sleep. My skin is looking so clear, but I guess there was a full moon last night. It must be Mercury retrograde, or it really must be the full moon, because I woke up today to thousands and thousands of random hate comments, all about Miss Louis Vuitton. Okay, so the topic of discussion is, of course, the $250
eyeshadow palette. Now, I guess NikkieTutorials and James Charles reviewed the makeup. They bought it themselves. They were not on the PR list. So is it giving Bitter Betty, or why am I involved? I actually respect NikkieTutorials, but if you hear her in the intro, she said that she reviewed a different Louis palette for her YouTube channel, and that one was totally fine with pigment. Even though it was boring according to her, it had pigment. So she chose to use the lightest color story for TikTok, and now everyone's coming at me like I'm a liar.
And on his live stream, he kept going. He ranted about how unfair the backlash was, all while throwing more shade at both James and Nikkie. When it came to Nikkie, Jeffree implied her dislike for the collection wasn't even about the makeup. It was just her long-standing beef with Pat McGrath bleeding into the review. The internet completely lit up after that live stream. Fans weren't expecting Jeffree to pull out old scandals on James when the whole topic was supposed to be about makeup. Some people thought he crossed the line, saying he dragged the conversation into personal territory just to distract from the criticism of his review. Others, though, were cheering him on, claiming he was finally telling the truth and exposing what people usually avoid saying out loud. But the tension didn't stop there. Viewers were glued to every second as he kept throwing subtle digs at Nikkie. Instead of focusing on whether the lipsticks were worth $160, Jeffree leaned into this narrative that Nikkie was only negative because of her history with Pat McGrath. That angle stirred up even more drama, with fans debating if personal grudges were ruining honest reviews in the beauty world. By the end of the live, social media was in full meltdown mode. Hashtags started trending, clips went viral, and everyone had an opinion. Some defended James and Nikkie, insisting their critiques were the only genuine ones in the mix. Others sided with Jeffree, saying luxury brands like Louis Vuitton deserve a different standard of judgment.
You hear the deafening silence? So y'all can put your little laughing emojis in the chat all you want. I don't care. But what I'm not gonna do is wake up this morning and hear, oh my God, with James Charles and NikkieTutorials, they bought the Louis makeup. But every other thing they've reviewed this year has been for free. And then y'all think for a second, maybe they didn't get paid to say something was great this year? Are y'all delusional? When I was friends with NikkieTutorials, she was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, if not a week, with sponsored posts. But Jeffree lied because he wants to stay on the Louis PR list. I've spent millions of dollars at Louis. They've never given me a damn thing in my life. You think I'm gonna stay on the PR list for a fucking free lipstick? Who do these people think I am? You think I want to stay on a PR list to get a free lipstick? You think I'm that stupid and desperate? So if you're gonna come at me because James and Nikkie didn't like it and I did, who are you? Are you okay? Aw, because I'm on the PR list and they weren't?
Either way, what started as a simple product review had exploded into one of the messiest beauty community showdowns in months. Soon, the drama jumped way beyond the beauty community. This wasn't just makeup talk anymore. It was full-blown internet chaos.
And all of a sudden, the makeup gets a bad review. Right, sweetie, right. It's giving tomfoolery. That's the only reason why I made today's videos. Normally, I ignore everybody, don't care, don't concern me. I woke up to thousands of comments. I mean, if you go check my Louis video, they're all there. I don't delete comments, I don't care. Okay, but I'm very, very proud of my integrity, my truth, my page, my reviews, okay? All right, we have 2 brand new videos uploaded. You know, some people are calling it drama, I'm calling it my integrity. Hello? If you want to preload my makeup brushes, they launch in November. November 7th to be exact. Okay. It really is, y'all. The harassment to harass me for no reason, I thought was just so weird.
Casual fans who don't even follow beauty gurus started chiming in, sharing clips of Jeffree's live like wildfire across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Drama pages picked it up instantly, fueling debates about honesty, clout chasing, and whether these influencers were more focused on beef than the actual products. Comment sections turned into battlefields. On one side, people were calling Jeffree manipulative for bringing up James's old controversies instead of sticking to the palette review. On the other side, his supporters argued that he had every right to defend himself however he wanted, especially since people were dragging his credibility into the mud. The split was so sharp, it felt like the fandoms were at war. And then came the receipts. Viewers started digging up old clips of Jeffree praising and trashing brands, comparing how his tone shifted depending on whether he was in a feud or not. At the same time, people resurfaced Nikkie's history with Pat McGrath, questioning whether her shade toward the Louis Vuitton launch was really about the makeup, or if Jeffree had a point. Suddenly, it wasn't even about lipsticks or eyeshadow anymore. It was about exposing who was the most real in the industry. By the next day, the feud had blown up so big that other influencers couldn't resist jumping in. Makeup reviewers, lifestyle vloggers, even random commentary creators started posting their own takes on the Jeffree James Nikkie showdown. Everyone wanted a piece of the action, and the discourse just kept spiraling. Some influencers sided with James and Nikkie, praising them for spending their own money and keeping their reviews raw and unfiltered. They claimed that honesty in the beauty world is rare, and the fact that they weren't scared to call a luxury brand overhyped proved their integrity. Others, however, doubled down in Jeffree's corner, arguing that his years of experience and brutal honesty in the past gave him more credibility than anyone else. The internet basically split into camps overnight. Fans, meanwhile, were exhausting themselves trying to track every live, every clapback, every stitch and repost. Hashtags like hashtag Louis Vuitton drama and hashtag Jeffree vs. James trended nonstop. The memes were endless. Screenshots of Jeffree tossing Rhode products into the trash resurfaced, alongside edits mocking the price of a $160 lipstick that doesn't even stay on after one sip of coffee. And it didn't stop there. People started speculating whether this whole mess was secretly good for Louis Vuitton. Even with negative reviews, the brand's name was everywhere, dominating beauty headlines for days. The controversy may have hurt some reputations, but it also put the new makeup line in front of millions who probably wouldn't have cared otherwise. People started questioning why Jeffree was even so pressed over the backlash in the first place. And his answer? He said he normally ignores the noise, but this time he woke up to thousands of comments calling him fake, and he just couldn't stay silent. He felt like he had to set the record straight and shut the conversation down once and for all. And that's how the beauty world got flipped upside down this week. Louis Vuitton's luxury makeup launch was supposed to be a glamorous debut, but instead it sparked one of the most heated showdowns we've seen in a while. Between James calling the line overpriced, Nikkie pointing out the lack of quality, and Jeffree going off on live streams defending the brand while dragging his rivals, this launch will be remembered less for the products and more for the chaos that followed. So what do you think? Was Jeffree being honest in his review, or was he letting his love for Louis Vuitton cloud his judgment? Were James and Nikkie the only ones keeping it real? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate is far from over. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe for more wild celebrity drama. I'll see you in the next one. And make sure you click on the next video popping up on your screen because trust me, you don't want to miss the scandals we're covering next.